Kyle Carter never expected his life to change on a Tuesday night, but fate had different plans when he decided to take the scenic route home through the old forest road outside Portland. The sky had turned an unusual shade of purple and the air felt electric as if a storm was brewing, but the weather forecast had promised clear skies all week. He pulled his truck over to the side of the road and stepped out to get a better look at the strange atmospheric phenomenon. That was when he saw her. She stood in the clearing just beyond the tree line, and even from a distance Kyle could tell she was not human. Her skin had a faint luminescent quality that reminded him of moonlight on water, and her eyes glowed with a soft amber light that seemed to pierce through the growing darkness. She was tall, maybe 7 feet, and wore what looked like armor made from some kind of living metal that shifted and flowed across her body like liquid silver. For a moment, they just stared at each other, frozen in mutual surprise. Then she spoke, and her voice carried directly into his mind without passing through the air between them. "I mean you. No harm, human," she said, and Kyle could sense the weariness in her mental voice. "I am Zara, and I am very far from home." Kyle should have been terrified, but something about her presence felt more sad than threatening. "Are you okay?" he asked, taking a cautious step forward. "Do you need help?" Zara tilted her head in a gesture that seemed almost human despite her alien features. "I have been alone for so long," she admitted. "My ship crashed here 3 of your months ago, and I have been hiding ever since. My people think I am dead, and I cannot repair my vessel without resources I do not have access to on this world." "Why not contact someone?" Kyle asked. "Surely there are people who could help you." She laughed, but it was a bitter sound that echoed in his mind. "Your governments would dissect me for study," she said. "I have seen how your species treats those who are different, have watched your broadcasts and read your histories. Trust does not come easily to beings like you." Kyle could not argue with that assessment. Humanity had a pretty terrible track record when it came to accepting outsiders. "So what are you going to do?" he asked. "Just hide here forever." Zara looked up at the purple sky, and Kyle followed her gaze. He could see now that the strange coloration was coming from some kind of distortion high in the atmosphere, like a window between worlds. "My people will come eventually," she said. "They will search the debris field of my ship, and when they do, they will find this world, and they will not be pleased to discover that their queen died here alone and forgotten." "Queen," Kyle repeated, and suddenly her regal bearing made a lot more sense. "You are royalty." "I was," Zara corrected. "Now I am just a survivor trying to make it through each day." She turned to look at him again, and this time, he saw something desperate in those glowing eyes. "But I am tired, Kyle Carter. So very tired of being alone. I know your name because I have been watching you. You pass this way every Tuesday night on your way home from your job at the observatory. You are kind to others, even when they do not deserve it, and you look at the stars with the same longing I feel." Kyle felt a chill run down his spine at the revelation that she had been observing him, but he could not deny the strange connection he felt to this lonely alien queen. "What do you want from me?" he asked. Zara stepped closer, and now he could see the fine details of her face. She was beautiful in an otherworldly way, with features that were almost human but just different enough to be fascinating. "I want to offer you a deal," she said. "A dangerous deal that could change both of our lives." Kyle swallowed hard, but he did not step back. "I'm listening." Zara raised one hand, and a holographic display materialized in the air between them, showing complex diagrams and star charts. "My people have technology that could benefit humanity greatly," she explained. "Medical advances that could cure diseases you consider terminal, energy sources that would end your dependence on fossil fuels, transportation methods that would allow you to explore your solar system within years, instead of decades. All of this I can give you." But Kyle prompted, because there was always a but in deals like this. "But you would need to help me repair my ship," she said. "And when my people come, you would need to stand with me and help me explain what happened. Here you would need to be my ambassador to your species and my witness to mine." "That does not sound so dangerous," Kyle said, though he suspected he was missing something important. Zara smiled, and it was sad and knowing. "My people do not trust easily," she said. "When they discover I have been alive all this time and did not signal for help, they will assume I have been compromised, or that I have betrayed them. They will test me, and they will test you. Some of those tests may be painful, and some may be deadly, and if we fail those tests, both our worlds could pay the price. The holographic display shifted to show images of massive warships that dwarfed anything humanity had ever built. My people are peaceful by nature, Zara continued, but they are not weak, and they do not forgive perceived betrayals lightly. If they believe I have turned against them, or that your species poses a threat, they could decide to eliminate that threat permanently. So let me be clear about what I am offering you. Kyle, Carter, I am offering you knowledge and technology that could save millions of lives on your world. I am offering you the chance to be the bridge between two civilizations, but I am also offering you danger and scrutiny and the very real possibility that you could become the catalyst for a war that would destroy your planet. Kyle felt his mouth go dry as the full weight of her words sank in. This was not just about helping a stranded alien. This was about the future of humanity itself. And if I say no, he asked, then I will continue to hide. Zara said simply, I will wait until my ship is found or until I die. Whichever comes first, and humanity will continue on without ever knowing what wonders existed just beyond your reach. She dismissed the holographic display and looked at him with those intense amber eyes. I chose you, Kyle, because I have watched you, and I believe you have the integrity and courage to see this through. But I will not force you, and I will not think less of you if you walk away. This is a burden that should not fall on the shoulders of one person. Yet here we are. Kyle looked back at his truck sitting on the side of the road. He could get in right now, drive home, and pretend this conversation never happened. He could go back to his quiet life at the observatory, cataloging distant stars and wondering what might be out there. Or he could take the biggest risk of his life and maybe help change the course of human history. He thought about all the people who would never need chemotherapy again if Zara technology could cure cancer. He thought about children who would not have to grow up in a world choked by pollution if clean energy became available. He thought about astronauts who could explore Mars and beyond without spending years in cramped spacecraft. And he thought about the responsibility of holding the fate of two civilizations in his hands. The purple distortion in the sky pulsed with light, as if responding to his internal struggle. How much time do I have to decide? Kyle asked. Zara glanced up at the anomaly. 3 of your days, she said. After that the window will close and I will lose my chance to send a signal through it. If I do not signal my people within that time, they will assume my ship was destroyed completely and they will never come looking. 3 days to decide the fate of the world. Kyle muttered. No pressure. Right, Zara actually smiled at that and it transformed her face, making her look younger and less burdened. I like your humor, she said. It will serve you well in the difficult times ahead if you choose to accept. She turned to walk back toward the tree line, then paused and looked back at him. I will be here every night until the window closes, she said. If you decide to help me return before dawn on the 3rd night. If you decide to walk away, I will understand and I will disappear from your life forever. Kyle watched her vanish into the darkness of the forest and stood there for a long time staring at the spot where she had been. The purple sky slowly faded back to its normal color and the electric feeling in the air dissipated. He got back in his truck and drove home in a daze, his mind racing with possibilities and fears. That night he did not sleep. He sat at his computer researching everything he could find about first contact protocols and interstellar diplomacy. Though most of it was just science fiction speculation. He thought about calling someone, but who would believe him? He thought about going to the authorities, but remembered Zara warning about dissection and government interference. By morning he had made lists of pros and cons that filled multiple pages. By evening, he had thrown them all away because this decision could not be reduced to simple logic. This was about faith and courage and the willingness to step into the unknown. On the 2nd night he drove back to the forest road, but he did not get out of his truck. He sat there watching the clearing, and eventually he saw Zara emerge from the trees. She did not approach, just stood there looking at him with those glowing eyes, and he could feel the question hanging in the air between them. He drove home without getting out. On the 3rd day, Kyle called in sick to work for the first time in 5 years. He spent the entire day walking through the city, watching people go about their normal lives. He saw a mother pushing a stroller and wondered if Zara technology could prevent childhood diseases. He saw an elderly man struggling to breathe with an oxygen tank and wondered if alien medicine could give him back his health. He saw young couples dreaming about their futures and wondered if he had the right to make this choice for all of them. As the sun began to set,